it's always you're playing catch up and you're not focused on your own business and what makes you different and what makes you unique. And I think we live in a world where everyone's trying to be so much like everyone else, but missing the. We are live. It sounds fun when I say that. We are live from New York. Let's get this up here. And we are good to go. Happy Monday, or whenever you're listening to this out on the podcast. By the way, if you're watching this live and you don't know we have a podcast, it's called Perfectly Mentored. Head over to perfectlymentored.com. Leave a review. If you hate it, let me know you hate it. Like, it doesn't always have to be positive review. Everyone's like, leave us a 5-star review. No, don't leave me a 5-star review if you don't like it. Don't leave a review at all if you don't like it. But if you wanted to, give me some feedback on it. But head on over there. Listen, we're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcast. We're everywhere, right? That's the whole point of what we do, Megan. Right? We're just gonna take over everywhere. We're on LinkedIn right now. We're on Facebook, streaming live every week. We go live answering questions that you have around marketing, business, life, whatever it is. We'll take a bunch of questions, and Megan asks her own question because Megan has a lot of questions and. Doesn't have enough access to me, so she needs a Q&A show in order to spend time with me and ask me her questions. But this show is about you, how we can help you. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments. If you just want to say hello, put them in the comments. Let us know how we're doing. If you think the questions are bad or if you think my answers are bad, let me know in the comments too. I'm open to all types of feedback today. Usually I'm not. Usually I only want the good feedback, but today I'll take the negative. It's Monday. We're rocking and rolling. Let's go, Megan.
All righty. Okay. So our first question is from Claire. Which is more important in regards to capturing the buyer's attention in an ad, the copy or the image or video that I use?
Look, if you're going to look at it as from an ad side of things, it's always the creative, the video, or I would even go a step further, the thumbnail is what's going to get them to stop the scroll. So we call it thumb stopping, right? You're scrolling. How do you get them to stop? It's not going to be the copy because they don't read it. The first thing we're visual, right? The first thing we're going to see is a video. That's why it tends to be overdone a little bit now, but UGC content, when we were putting out content and it was just, it looked native. It looked like someone was just posting a video versus like a glossy, well-produced video. It tended to do better because people thought they knew that person. So they stopped. That's the first point of an ad, is you get them to stop. Then your copy has to sell them the click. So whether they're going to read the copy, if it's just an image that gets them to stop to read the copy, your first line, you're only going to have around like 2.5, 3 lines that they could actually see before they have to click more, has to sell them the ability to click more. So if you look at copy, there's an old school copyright that says rule that says the point of copy is the first line is to get them to read the second line. The second line is designed to get them to read the third line, and so on. So that's what it is. If you're doing a video and you have a really good thumbnail and you get them to stop, obviously your video has to do a good job getting them to watch. Like, that's why you see a lot of people buy impulse buys, because they see this like really cool, like I'm in it's snowing here right now and it's really cool. So I see a lot of these like ice scraper, like really cool ice scrapers. And it's like, oh yeah, it's a circle ice scraper, and it's literally just easy. It's the guy's just going like this and is easily scraping it off. I'm bought like 4 of them. We only have 2 cars, but they come in packages too. So I was gonna like gift them away. But like that's a demo video. Copy wouldn't have sold me that, right? It would have remove ice without, like, you could write words from here to tomorrow, but that demo video did really well.
Yeah.
So it really depends. But I think more importantly is that first frame in that video, or that picture that you're going to have on there. Does it get them to stop scrolling? Are you playing around with brightness, brighter thumbnails, brighter images do better? Are you getting them to stop? Like, are you playing with contrast? Does it look a little bit different? Is it a pattern interrupt from when they're scrolling, right? So pattern interrupts are everything's the same. All of a sudden an ad stands out. So that's why sometimes you stop. And now Facebook kind of made this a little bit more interesting. When you post, you could have like different like color backgrounds when you only do like a certain small post. And that's why you see like bright yellow or bright orange or
Mm,
black, and because it's like you're reading text, video, and all of a sudden there's a color that pops up. That's a pattern interrupt.
mm. Okay. All right. This one is from Joey. Is cold emailing effective for businesses anymore? If so, what strategy do you recommend specifically for restaurants?
Cold email is definitely a positive strategy. We're running it right now with a 56% open rate. I mean, my own list of people who opt in for our emails, we don't get 56% open rates. So cold email definitely works. There's ways to do it, right? You buy a domain, you warm up that domain, you make sure you have your uh, SPF records, your DKIM, your DMARC. If you don't know what that is, and I'm just giving you a bunch of acronyms, I actually did a video for this for free on YouTube. If you head over to my YouTube page, there's a how to get your emails delivered and opened. There's a short video on that where I walk you through all that. But you want to warm them up. You never want to send them from your domain in case you get blacklisted. So you send that out. We actually just created a program on this. So if you head over to Amplify, I think it's amplifyconsulting.thinkific.com, you could actually buy a course. We actually host this inside what's called Amplify University. You'll be seeing a lot more about that coming out soon. But I actually just did a whole program on this, and we're still building it out. But did a whole program on how to do um, direct mail. That's gonna be released in there soon. Uh, but yeah, so that's kind of how you do it. You warm it up and then you send it out. And what I would do is I would get a list of local businesses that are around you, and I would probably set up like an email campaign where it's like, hey, um, you know, bring your office colleagues, bring a desserts on us, or a free cup of coffee,
Mhm.
or whatever it is, some sort of like thing to get them into the door. That's why you see a lot of people give away like free cake on your birthday or free dessert on your birthday because well, it costs you like $2 to give away the cake, and chances are they're not just coming for a piece of cake. They're going to come and sit and have a whole meal. Even if you did like, hey,
Yeah.
free beer, first free round on us. Like chances are they're going to order something else that's going to offset that. And if you give them a good atmosphere and you give them good customer service, they'll come back. So it's more about like how can you get them in. So if you're going to do cold email for a restaurant, a cold email for a restaurant, that's probably what I would do because you're not going to get like personal emails of people around you. I find like anyone who's working businesses in a 5 block radius, get them to come in and try like a lunch special or anything like that. And then I'd run ads to anyone who's within like a 5 mile radius of your restaurant, saying, hey,
Mm.
um, come, you know, come try out our new restaurant, for like new customers get free dessert, or you could run it to anyone who has a birthday in that month and say free cake on your birthday to get them to come. Um, but yeah, that's kind of how I would do cold email. I think people are gonna think like cold email, like how do I get like personal people like in houses next to that?
Uh-huh.
That's more of a direct mail approach that we could talk about. But cold email would be I'd go after the businesses because if they could come in during lunchtime, then they
Yeah.
start packing it a little bit daily. And if you could get busy during lunchtime, that's when most restaurants are a little bit quieter. They're usually busier at nighttime. If you could get like lunchtime, like booming, you'll get nighttime booming as well.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. I own a retail company and we want to send our vendors a small gift for the holidays to say thank you. Any recommendations on what to send? We've sent fruit baskets, things of that nature in the past, but would like to try something new. And this is from Paul.
Yeah, we suck at this too. Like we need to get better because we send like a like just like big box of chocolates or big box of like a fruit basket or what we do. I think if you could get personalized, that's even better.
Yeah.
Like if you know they're a big fan of a sports team or they're a big fan of the ballet or whatever it is, and you could kind of tailor make it a little bit, or they just had a baby and you could send them a baby gift. That's a little bit different. But Megan, I'd rather you answer this question because you kind of handle this on our side, and we suck because of me, not because of Megan. By the way, it's not like I'm saying here now let Megan, who's we haven't been doing this well, let her answer the question. She'll usually ask me what we should get. I'm like, just get like a fruit basket or a box
Yeah.
of or a box of chocolates. Well, what do you think? I think this is more a question for you to weigh in on.
Yeah, well, I know in the past we did like not the fruit baskets, but baskets of consumables, and think we are now going to try the more personalized things, get our logo on some products, things that I think the idea is to kind of obviously say thank you for your business, but to, gift them something that's going to last. And when it's food, they're either going to eat it or toss it, and, you're not in front of their face anymore. So you can personalize things with like your logo, like something maybe that would set on their desk. There's lots of websites out there that offer stuff like that. So
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think a gift is great when it's something that they need and want, but
mhm,
also has staying power. Like a
yeah,
fruit basket is great, but if your goal is to like say always stay top of mind, after they consume it, they don't remember you gave it to them. So
yeah,
like we've sent engraved bottles of champagne to people. Now, why is that a bit different? Yes, it's a consumable, but they're not going to open it so quickly because it's a nice bottle. First of all, it's engraved. And chances are after they finish it, they're going to keep the bottle because it's engraved, right? They're not just going to like toss it. It's a nice engraving. It says congratulations or whatever it is. So
yeah,
that has staying power. And now, like they drink it and they're like, okay, cool. Jason got us that, or Megan got us that. Done with in the garbage. Now I don't remember what they even gave us in 6 months later. But if you have something that sits on their office desk, something that sits in their on their bar for like the rest of their life pretty much, or sits on their inside their home, or their kid
mhm,
wears it every now and then, they'll always remember you. That's staying power, and that's their mind is always remembered about you, and that's how you keep clients. That's how you like keep relationships going, right? So always think of a gift that has a little bit of staying power.
exactly.
Yeah,
Okay. All
good
right, this
answer,
one.
Megan.
Well, thank you. This
The
one's
Ask
from
Megan show
Robert.
live Mondays.
Not quite. Don't throw me under the bus like that. Okay, so this one's from Robert. For online ads, how can I find out what my competitors are doing and what's actually working for them? And I own an online clothing store for reference.
I mean, you could go to like Facebook ads library and they have like all these libraries. There's one for emails where you can see like the different emails that are sent out from different companies. You could go to all those things. Uh, but you miss context, right? Like, like if it's running for a long time, you could assume that it's probably working. That's the way I would
Mhm,
look at it. You could probably assume that it's working. Um, there's like VidTow and all these different things for YouTube where you can see how much was spent from a promotional standpoint of an ad. So you can kind of assume that if they spend $1 million on it, it's probably making money for them. But again, that's an assumption. I would say it's a very slippery slope by looking at what your competitors are doing, because one is you lack context. If someone wants to copy what I'm doing from an ad, they don't know if I'm just testing something out versus this is like hitting home runs. They don't know if I'm just trying to see or test angles or whatnot. So they're going to see an ad. They're going to be like, oh, this must be working. Like Jason's a smart marketer. It must be working for them. But they don't know that if I'm, what I'm trying to do or what my goal is. Maybe my goal is, hey, I just want to get in front of people. I don't even care how many buy. I just want to stay in front of people all day. Right. So I'm running reach and frequency campaigns on Facebook, let's say, where I'm just staying right in front of people like the whole time. That's my goal, impressions. Well, then they're just going to assume that ad's making me a ton of money because it's been running for a long time, but they don't know what the goal was. I'm always reminded, like, competition of like when I had my clothing brand, I would look at what other competitors are doing, or even when I started the agency, I'd look at what competitors are doing, and most of those competitors weren't in business past like 2 years. So you never know. And if you
mhm,
spend so much time focusing on what your competitors are doing, you're not innovating enough and you're not thinking enough. And why do I want to come to the second version of Jason? Right? What do I want a second version of this brand when I could
mhm,
just go to that first version? So there's the story of a guy who opens up a store right across the street from his competitor, and he sees his competitor comes out, and puts up a blue sign. So he comes out and he puts up a blue sign, and his competitor comes out and puts up balloons outside. So he comes out and puts up balloons. And he's always wondering why his competitor always has more people lined up in front of the store. That he comes out and realizes they have dancers outside. So he gets dancers outside, right? So it's always you're playing catch up and you're not focused on your own business and what makes you different and what makes you unique. And I think we live in a world where everyone's trying to be so much like everyone else, but missing the context, lacking the
Mhm.
context, I should say, of what that person is, and comparing themselves to another business where they don't know the blood, sweat, and tears that that business put into it. They don't know. Like I looked at, you could look at Gary Vaynerchuk and be like, man, I just want to be like Gary. Do you? The guy lost like his family. Like he's like, I don't. I mean, I obviously don't know personal stories, but like he's not married anymore. Like the guy works like 24/7. Is that what you want? That's the life he chose. So you look at where people are and you look at where businesses are and you look at your competitors and you look where they are, but they may have played a game that you're not willing to play. So it's very, very dangerous looking at your competitors from a psychological mindset for you. If you're like, hey, I want to make sure my kids are in bed and I want to put them to bed every single night. I want to make sure we go on 4 vacations a year as a family. I want to make sure that I never miss any moments with my kids. I want to make sure that I go to sleep and in my mind's at ease every single night. I want to make sure that I end work at 3 p.m. every single day, no matter what. Well, guess what? If your competitors are working from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. every single night, and they don't care about family, and they're just willing to grind, you're gonna have a tough time competing with them.
Mhm.
So why even compete? It's a completely different game. Build the business the way you want. Like we say this all the time. Build the life, build the business around the life you want, not your life around your business that you want.
Yeah.
So um so that's one side of things. And the next side of things is that you just won't be innovative enough. You won't be you won't be thinking outside the box. If you're just trying to copy what everyone else is doing,
Right.
like you're just a third rate version. You're a knockoff brand. Like why would I go pay to see like the worst cover band of all time when I could actually pay and go see U2,
Mm.
right? Cover band's cool, whatever. If I'm gonna go free and go drink at a random bar and whatever, and there's a cool U2 cover band, awesome. But if it's like, hey, $400, you could go see the U2 cover band, or I could go see U2. Sorry, buddy. Right? So
Mhm.
be the headline, don't be the cover band.
Ah, okay. Nice ending line there. Now it's time for my question of the week. Okay. What are the top 3 products or things that you recommend for someone starting a podcast for the first time
A
with no
microphone,
experience?
a microphone, a camera, and a computer or something to record it
Specifics.
to. What?
Specifics. We need brand specifics.
No, because if it's your first time, most podcasts fail before the 8th episode. So
Mhm.
go look at episode. We're on what? We're on almost a 300 episodes with
Yeah.
Perfectly Mentored,
Yeah.
plus like the snippets that we now do every
Mhm.
single week. So probably past 300 because those didn't even count as a numbered episode.
Yeah.
We're past 300. Go look at episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like I mean, I think Brandon Steiner might have been the first well done episode because I had a camera guy with me and I filmed live because it was right before I filmed Gary Vaynerchuk in his office. So after that, I got a bit more professional, right? Like you get Gary Vaynerchuk on and it's done in the highest quality ever. And he's using those clips. And I'm going to get now the attention that comes from that after when he's tagging me on everything. I'll invest. But I was 20 episodes in. Otherwise, it was like a random, no headphones, no microphone. It was earpods or like I didn't even have AirPods at the time. I think they were just the Apple, like the white wire
Yeah.
ones that plug in. Um, that and a computer and Zoom. Right, the quality is awful, but you cut your teeth on it. You work on it. Now, would I say go that awful? No, you could probably buy really good quality mics right now. AirPods have like really great noise canceling features. You could probably get that, and you could probably do that. You could probably get like AirPod Max, like the headphones, put those
Mhm.
on, buy like a microphone. You don't need a Shure. Like this is a Shure SM7B. It's like a $600 microphone. You don't need that to get started. We film tons of content. That's why I invested in it. That's a Sony 6400 camera. Do you need a Sony A6400? No, like, but we film a ton of content. So I invested in it. But it took a while before I did that. I would buy
Mhm.
like a webcam and just use a webcam. Now the Mac cams have gotten really, really great, right? The technology has gotten better. Your phone has gotten really, really good. Um, so no, I don't want to give specifics on brands if you're just starting off, because what you're going to do is you're going to go invest. You're going to spend $1,500 on something, and then you're going to do 2 episodes and realize this is actually harder than you thought it would be, and you're going to give up and you're not going to do it, and you're out $1,500. And that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help save you money. I'm here to help make you money. I'm here to help give you a great life. So no, go start, do 10 episodes, know that you love it, know that you want to commit to it consistently, know that you can commit to it consistently, then come back on the show, Megan, because this is your question. I forgot that this was your question.
Yeah.
Then come back on the show and we'll go through it. But if you want my tech setup is a computer, Sony A6400 camera, Shure SM7B mic, and then I also have uh, in ear, like over the ear, like headphone for podcasts that come in
Okay.
here, like kind of like what like the news anchors have, like it goes into the ear, because then it allows me to move and it's not like AirPods or whatever. So
Okay.
that's my tech stack, but I don't recommend that for you if you're just starting off.
Yeah. Okay. All
Cool.
right. That's all the questions we got.
Awesome. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Head on over to jportnoy.com if you have anything that you want to, at Jason Portnoy on social media. If you want to hit me up with any questions you have there, we'll be glad to answer it there as well. You can email us, reach out however you want. And again, every Monday we are live, except for next Monday, right? Next Monday we are
Right.
off. We are off
Right.
next Monday. But every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, we are live on Facebook and LinkedIn. And have a great week, everyone. Thanks, Megan.
Right.